everyone, I'm back, and this week I'm taking a trip down memory lane with Pokemon Red and Blue for the Game Boy, which served as most of the world's introduction to the video games that created the merchandising juggernaut known as Pokemon. However, in Japan, things were a different story, as a green-coloured version held the place of the then non-existent blue version, and the resulting franchise was called Pocket Monsters, with the name change legally necessitated thanks to apparent copyright issues with the 1980s toy line Monsters in My Pocket. I personally don't see why in the world the name Pocket Monsters had to be changed to the nonsensical Pokemon, particularly since Monsters in My Pocket is no longer relevant, but that's the legal system for you. On a side note, the anime that spawned from these games is dead to me. I stopped watching regularly when the Johto Journey season ended and all the regular characters just up and left. In fact, the first episode that I paid attention to in years was the premiere of the most recent season based off the Diamond and Pearl games. Aside from enjoying seeing so many parallels to the very first episode of the series, I found it nice to see a Pokemon trainer whose name wasn't Ash score the spotlight. What's my beef with Ash, you ask? Well, he hasn't really been allowed to grow, and he's made no real progress in his journeys. I mean, sure, he turned 11 at one point in the early seasons, but that was before he got hit with Simpsons syndrome and is now stuck forever at the age of 10, which sucks major balls, because if this were a real-life situation, I'm willing to bet that Ash would already be a Pokemon Master, or at least a gym leader. I mean, if Yugimoto from Yu-Gi-Oh! Was allowed to grow up and move on with his life, I don't see why the writers are so goddamn afraid of letting Ash grow a pair and do the same. Anyhow, when you start the game, you're put in the shoes of the Pokemon trainer Red, who served as the inspiration for Ash. You can even name him Ash in the game, among other names, or create your own name, and this same option applies to your rival trainer Blue, upon whom the character of the obnoxious Gary was based. Your goal in the game is to become the best Pokemon trainer there is and collect the first 150 Pokemon, and after paying a visit to Professor Oak, you'll then receive all the tools necessary to become a Pokemon trainer, including, of course, your very first Pokemon. The game allows you to pick one of 3 Pokemon, Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle. And I should note here that your rival will pick the little critter that just so happens to have an advantage over yours. For example, if you pick Bulbasaur, Blue will pick Charmander since Fire-type Pokemon can burn the crap out of Grass types. As you travel throughout the world of the game, you'll visit many different locales and cities, and encounter countless wild Pokemon that you can battle and catch, all of which are recorded into your encyclopedic Pokédex. Now it's here that you're probably wondering, why in the world was this split into 2 separate games? Well, the catch here is that not all of the titular monsters can be collected on a single cartridge, thus forcing you to find a fellow fanatic and trade Pokemon via the Game Boy's link cable accessory. In the game, this can be accomplished by visiting each town's Pokemon Center and accessing the Link Arena, and it's here that you can not only trade your Pokemon, but also pit them against each other to see who's strongest. However, there's a lot more to this game than just animal cruelty at its finest, as you need to track down the gym leaders in each city to battle them and earn a badge. While these badges are displayed as nothing more than pretty little trinkets in the series, they're much more important in the game, as you have to acquire them in order to gain access to special hidden machines and technical machines that grant your Pokemon certain abilities that are invaluable to your progress, like for instance the ability to fly to any of the cities you've visited. It doesn't stop there, for there are even more surprises in store once you've collected all 8 gym badges. I gotta say that it's a real shame that the Pokemon franchise has become as overexposed as it is, because the existence of an ultimately ho-hum anime seems to have put something of a negative stigma on a pair of well thought out and highly addictive role-playing games.